question that I posed was, who's the best babyface in wrestling today? Now, I think the easy answer is Cody Rhodes. He
Mm-hmm.
was the world heavyweight champion for a full year. He was over like crazy. Uh, Tremendous response from the crowd. Booked fantastically well as a babyface. And then up until, I guess, the WrestleMania loss, where I didn't think that they booked him all that well in losing that match. But I think that's the easy answer. And I'm guessing that that was possibly going to be your answer as well.
It wasn't my answer, but I mean, he's definitely in the top 3 or 5, of who the top babyfaces today are.
Okay, so let's go through all of the baby faces that we feel, are tippy top. So I started with Cody. Now we'll stay in WWE. Obviously CM Punk is
CM Punk was my number one. I think he's like the perfect top babyface of today. Like you want a guy with a little edge to him. He connects with the audience. He always includes the audience with his promos. He's a fighter. No matter who wins or loses, he's always giving his all. And so I think CM Punk right now is to me, just the perfect babyface today in wrestling.
some of the other top baby faces in WWE. Obviously Jey Uso
Yes,
being
that's my second.
the
Yeah.
world champion. I don't think Jay is pushed at the same level that a Cody and a CM Punk and maybe even a couple of like a Roman Reigns. Like those guys are sort of really tippy top, and Jay is kind of underneath that, but hoping that he could get to the next level. But if he doesn't, not that surprising because he may not be at that level. But I think Jay is, especially with the younger fans.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably the guy when it comes to the younger fans who they really resonate with the most. So I think Jay's got to be on the list. I
Him and
also thought,
Cody are him and Cody like the classic baby face, if you want, of the yesteryear. They do the role so well.
I also thought not on the same level, but when you think about babyface in WWE, you think about somebody like Sami Zayn, that
Mm-hmm.
underdog babyface. I think he's a really high level underdog babyface. And if the time ever happens that he does actually win a world title, I think it'll be one of the memorable moments in contemporary WWE history.
Yeah,
Very
agree.
simple. We always bring up that Mankind beating The Rock for his first championship kind of moment. It's just so memorable, and that would be a similar moment, I think. I think we also have to talk about two women who we mentioned in the thumbs up thumbs down segment, like Rhea Ripley, who's what woman wrestler outside of maybe Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey in the last 5 years. I guess it'd be 6 or 7 years now, but
Yeah.
who's been as hot or hotter than Rhea Ripley today? Like she's tremendously over.
She's awesome. She's definitely high up there on that list too. And Randy Orton too. I think he's like as a top baby face. He does it. He knows how to do it. Like he's a master psychologist, either a heel or baby face.
The
So.
one thing about Randy Orton, I think, is people are kind of just waiting for him to turn heel. So there's
True.
like
I'm
this
just
thing where you're like, I love Randy, but I'm not going to let Randy trick me. I'm not going to give Randy my 100% backing because he's going to turn on us here soon.
I'm not just saying it because on the pay per view, because that was his hometown as expected. But he's a legend. He's a long time main eventer. But he gets huge reactions everywhere he goes. Just once that music hits and he connects, man. Like I think on that SmackDown, he's coming to the ring and he sees a kid, and the kid's like a little kid. He's not putting his hand out for a high five. He's putting his hand out for a hug. I don't think he was, But I don't think he was like wanting a hug from him. Well, I mean, he did. He's like, "Yeah, I want a hug for it." And then Orton like looked at him and he's like, he's a father of many kids. I think he has now. And then he's just like, "You want to hug me? All right." Like he just stuff like that. Just and it worked for the TV audience watching it and stuff. It's really cool. I mean, Hunter became a fan of him just by watching that. Was that WrestleMania? He thought he was cool, and he's like, I need to have a sign for this guy. He ran and wrote Randy Orton, go Randy. So that was pretty funny. Not Hunter Helmsley, by the way. Hunter, my son.
someone who's bubbling, kind of another underdog babyface, even though she's the champion, is Io Sky.
Yeah.
Like, she's just, the fans just love Io Sky, and she's able to she does it in a different way, but she's able to like look to the crowd and just do something wacky, and then they respond, and then she responds, and it's really fun to see the back and forth. Like, she's not cutting a promo or anything. She's just really just reacting with the crowd physically rather than verbally, and it's just really cool to see.
She's just so cute and adorable, but then she kicks ass.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Grogu, in The Mandalorian. It's so cute. And then you're like, yeah, dude, get your lightsaber, start messing people up. Like, same thing with Io. Like, she's just adorable. But then she's so good at professional wrestling. I enjoy watching her wrestle. And, a lot of people are questioning, why did they give her the belt? WrestleMania, Bianca. Man, it's kind of working out. They're creating, they're elevating Io even higher. And Rhea and Bianca are already going to be stars. So I think next year we'll get that match, my prediction. Yeah. But I think it's doing a lot to help Io now, which is great. And she's a little older, so it's good to do it now.
Totally. All right, moving on the AEW side, Will Ospreay is kind of I think they have two chosen ones. Will Ospreay is chosen 1A, and then at the end of Dynamite, when they needed the babyface hero to save the babyfaces who were stuck inside the cage, that was Swerve Strickland. So those are kind of the A1 and A2, or A1.
Kenny up there. I can't have
okay.
Kenny up. Yeah,
we're gonna talk about Kenny.
Yeah,
but if you're looking at kind of how people are positioned, it very much looks like those are like the two guys, and they're younger than Kenny.
Yeah,
but
of course.
They're kind of the guys on the trajectory. And so you mentioned Kenny. Like, for me, like, that would be my baby face, right? That's the one that I want to be the top baby face. But the way that he's being booked in AEW right now, he's almost being booked to get the sympathy from the crowd, and maybe as the weaker of the baby faces, so these young baby faces get to shine. It's just weird, because I mean, if we think about the Anarchy in the Arena setup with the cage, like, he comes in, I'm thinking, oh, he's gonna make the save, and then I look at the odds and I'm like, oh man, there's like 6 dudes in there. How's he gonna beat up all 6 of them?
We'll talk about that later.
He didn't even beat up one, did he? Or maybe he beat up a couple, but then Okada got him. Yes. And then he was now stuck in the ring, just getting his ass kicked for the rest of the segment until Swerve came in.
Yes, that closing angle of Dynamite was poorly done. Just to get to the stupid announcing Anarchy in Arena battle. We'll talk about that later. But Kenny, for my money, is up there with Swerve and Ospreay. He's just genuinely loved by the audience. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then I posed this question to our Discord, and the one that I knew was gonna keep coming up was Hangman. And I think the only issue with Hangman is that he straddles the fence way too much for my taste to be an actual babyface. Like, like, he gets mad and he's like, oh yeah, I did all these bad things, and the people cheer him, but then he's like not happy about it. So whatever this character is, seems to be working for a lot of fans. It's not 100% working for me, even though I really want it to. And so that's what I think would hold him back from being with those other 3 guys, like you said.
He had the potential to be the guy, man.
He should be the ace. We've said
he should have been the
times.
kick-assing cowboy, but he every time we're like, oh man, I'm ready for you, kick-ass, dude. Then he wants to talk about the sob story, his feelings. You're like, okay, come on, man. Hey, Hanger, get over it. Start punching people, so.
And I have 2 others in AEW, and one of them is another kind of polarizing pick. I think she's doing a tremendous job. Some people don't like the shtick, but Toni Storm gets some of the loudest pops from the crowd for her character. She's actually, if you think about being booked like a top babyface up until I guess this last week, she was mowing through everybody, like just beating everybody. Megan Bain and
Yeah.
and then winning these 4 ways, and then finally Mina pins her.
Mhm.
We'll talk about that later because I had an issue with the way that match ended. But Tony Storm, like as a character, she is universally loved by that audience. Now,
Yeah.
the more polarizing side is kind of the people watching on television, whether or not they like her because she's got a lot of sexual innuendo talk, which I get a kick out of because it makes me laugh. Um, but then the last one, and this is one more alongside that Sami Zayn underdog babyface. I just wish this brother would win more matches because I think if he did, he would be like one of the most over guys in the company, and that's Mark Briscoe. I would just love to see this dude
Yeah.
win more matches.
Yeah. No, yeah, me too. But that ship sailed, so unfortunately, he's a lovable babyface in the middle. The reliable veteran.
I s- I don't have faith that Tony will book him
Yeah, me
the
neither.
way that I want to see him being booked, but I have faith that if he did, it would work really, really well because
Yes.
Mark just has that charisma and that relationship with the audience that very few wrestlers have.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he got to tell us a very specific story and focus on him, but Tony just doesn't have that ability to focus on one thing like that and really push it through. He kind of quickly gets to stuff and gets over it and moves on.
If we miss somebody, apologies. I quickly put a list together from some of the stuff that I saw, but John's leaning Punk. I still think I would lean Cody because Cody's that really that traditional babyface like you mentioned, and
Hmm.
being the world champion and stuff. I think he deserves the kudos, and we'll see where this the current thing because both companies right now, like obviously Jey Uso, but the way to get heat on Jey Uso is for the heels to kick his ass. Very heel heavy companies right now, WWE and
Hmm.
AEW. So we'll see that. Usually that is to set up a baby face, but
Yeah.
we'll have to figure out where they go.